Okay, and I'm back here going to finish reading here. So I'm just going to finish reading at the top of the page, or start back at the top of the page. He wants to say, "Thank you, Jessie," cried Violet. "He's a good dog not to cry." "Yes, he is," agreed Jessie. "Now I had better hold him for a while so that he will lie down and rest his leg." "We can surprise Henry," remarked Benny. "Now we have a dog." "So we can," said Jessie, but that was not my surprise. I was going to get a lot of blueberries for supper. "Can't we look for blueberries while you hold the dog?" asked Violet. "Yes, you can," said Jessie. "Look over there by the big trees." Benny and Violet ran over to look. "Oh, Jessie," cried Benny, "did you ever see so many blueberries? I guess 5 blueberries? No, I guess 10 blueberries." Jessie laughed. "I guess there are way more than 5 or 10, Benny. Get a clean towel and pick them into it." For a while, Jessie watched Benny and Violet picking blueberries. Most of Benny's blueberries are going into his mouth, she thought with a laugh, but maybe that's just as well. He won't get so hungry waiting for Henry to come back with the milk. She carried the dog over to the children and sat down beside them, the dog on her lap. With her help, the towel was soon full of blueberries. "I wish we had some dishes," Jessie said. "Then could have blueberries and milk." "Never mind," said Violet. "When Henry comes back, we can eat some blueberries and then take a drink of milk." When Henry came, he had some heavy bundles. He had 4 bottles of milk in a bag, a loaf of brown bread, and also some fine yellow cheese. He looked at the dog. "Where did you find that fine dog?" he cried. "He came to us," said Benny. "He's a surprise for you." Henry went over to the dog, who wagged his tail. Henry patted him and said, "He ought to be a good watchdog. Why is the handkerchief on his foot?" "He had a big thorn in his foot," answered Violet, and Jessie took it out and put it on the handkerchief. It hurt him, but he did not cry or growl. "His name is Watch," remarked Benny. "Oh, is it?" asked Jessie, laughing. "Watch is a good name for a watchdog." "Did you bring some milk?" asked Benny, looking hungrily at the bottles. "I should say I did," replied Henry. 4 bottles. "Poor old Benny," said Jessie. "We'll have dinner now. Or is it supper?" "It must be supper," said Henry, "for soon we'll have to go to bed." "Tomorrow we'll eat 3 times," said Jessie. Now Jessie liked to have things in order, and so she put the laundry bag on some pine needles for a tablecloth. Then she cut the loaf of brown bread into 5 big pieces. The cheese was cut into 4. "Dogs don't like cheese," remarked Benny. The poor little boy was glad, too, for he was very hungry. Violet put the 4 bottles of milk on the table, and Jessie put some blueberries and cheese on each plate. "Blueberries!" cried Henry. "Jessie, you had 2 surprises for me." "I'm sorry we haven't any cups," Jessie said. "We'll just have to drink out of the bottles. Now all come and sit down." So supper began. "Look, Benny," said Henry. "You take some blueberries, then you eat some brown bread, then some cheese, then take a drink of milk." "It's good," said Benny. He began to put more blueberries in his mouth. The dog had supper too. Jessie gave him bread as he lay on the ground beside her, and he drank milk out of her hand. When supper was over, there was some milk left in each bottle. "We'll have the rest of the milk for breakfast," said Jessie. "Tonight we're going to sleep on beds. Let's get some pine needles now." Soon the children had a big pile. Henry jumped into the boxcar. Jessie gave him some of the pine needles. He made 4 beds in one end of the car. "This side is the bedroom," said Jessie. "What will the other side be?" asked Benny. "The other side," asked Jessie. "Let me think. I guess that'll be the sitting room, and maybe some of the time it'll be the kitchen." Then she said, "Come now, come and get washed." She took the cake of soap and went down to the brook. "That'll be fun, Benny," said Violet. "We'll splash our paws in the brook, just as little brown bear does." She knew that Benny did not like to be washed. The children were all very hot, and so they were glad to splash in the cool water. Benny put cold water and soap on his face with the others and dried his hands on a towel. We'll have a line to dry the towels on," said Jessie. So she took the string out of the laundry bag and tied one end of it to a tree. The other end of the string she tied to the boxcar. This made a good clothesline. When she had washed one towel and Violet had washed the other one, they hung both towels on the clothesline. "It looks like home," said Henry. "See the washing?" he laughed. Jessie was thinking, we ought to get some water to drink before we go to bed. But what shall we put it in?" "Let's put all the milk into 2 bottles," said Henry. "Then we can fill the other 2 with water." "Good idea," said Jessie. "You go alone to the fountain, Henry. You can hide if anyone comes along." Henry went out very quietly and soon came back with 2 bottles full of cold water. Benny drank a little, but he was almost asleep. The other children helped him into the boxcar. Then they all climbed in, Jessie carrying the dog. He lay down at once beside her. "It is so hot that we'll leave the door open," said Henry. Soon they were fast asleep, dog and all. The moon came up, but they did not see it. This was the first time in 4 days that they could go to sleep at night, as children should. Okay, so now again, you are going to be answering these questions. You can send this to Notability. When you're done, send it back to Schoology. But just imagine if this were like the present day. So, in just today's times, where would the kids sleep? How and when would they travel? What would they do to get food? And what does their home look like? And that's where you can draw or find a picture online. When you're done with that, then there's also a discussion board that I have started here. Would you be willing to do what these kids did? Why or why not? So would you be willing to go live in the woods in this boxcar and have to do all these different kinds of things? Yep, it's totally your opinion. Just give some good reasons why too. Have fun. Bye.